Tom and Sarah had been married for a long time. At the beginning, they were very happy. They would talk a lot, laugh a lot, and share everything with each other. They would talk about their day, their dreams, and their plans. They would tell funny stories and laugh until their stomachs hurt. They had a lot of fun together, and it seemed like every day was an adventure. But as time went by, things started to change. At first, it was small. They would talk less, and sometimes when they were at home, they wouldn't talk much at all. Tom would watch TV, and Sarah would read her book. When they were in the car, they didn't have much to say. Sometimes, they would just sit in silence. When they needed to talk, it was only about things that had to be done at home. Did you clean the kitchen, or do we need to buy more groceries? That was all they would talk about. It felt like something was missing. They didn't feel the same warmth and fun in their talks like they used to. They missed the good old days when their conversations were full of laughter and excitement. One day, Sarah noticed how quiet things had become. She felt sad. She didn't want to feel like they were strangers in their own home. She decided to talk to Tom about it. "Tom," she said softly, "do you feel like we don't talk like we used to?" Tom thought for a moment. "Yes," he said. "I miss those happy talks we had. It's like we're both busy with our own things, and we don't have time for each other." Sarah nodded. "I feel the same. Let's try to fix it. We don't have to panic, but we need to do something to bring back the fun and closeness we had." So, they made a plan. They decided to stop worrying. "Let's not panic," Sarah said. "When we worry, we just make things worse. Let's relax and enjoy our time together." Tom smiled and said, "You're right. Let's stop forcing it and just have fun." The next day, Sarah had an idea. "Tom, I think we should learn new things. When we learn something new, we will have more to talk about." Tom was excited. "Great idea. I will start reading more books. We can share what we learn." Sarah agreed. They both began reading books and watching interesting shows. They started talking about the new things they learned. They could now share fun facts and ideas with each other. Their conversations started to feel fresh and interesting again. A few days later, Tom said, "You know, we used to spend a lot of time with our friends and family. Maybe we should do that again." Sarah smiled. "Yes. Let's meet up with our family. We can invite our friends over. We'll have new things to talk about after spending time with them." They invited their friends and family over, and they spent the day laughing and talking. They made new memories, and when they went home, they couldn't stop talking about all the fun they had. One evening, as they were sitting on the couch, Sarah said, "Tom, do you remember how we used to kiss a lot? It made us feel so happy." Tom smiled and said, "Yes. Let's kiss more. So, they kissed, and it felt great. They realized that kissing made them feel close and happy. After kissing, they started talking more. They would talk about funny things and share their thoughts. It felt like the old days again. Then Tom said, "I think we should go on more dates, just like we did when we first met." Sarah said, "Yes. Let's go to the park, or we can have a nice dinner out. We can do anything that feels fun." They went on dates again, and each time, they felt like they were falling in love all over again. They would talk, laugh, and enjoy each other's company. Sarah also suggested, maybe we should spend some time apart sometimes. When we miss each other, we'll have more to talk about when we come back together. Tom agreed. "I like that idea. We can have our own busy lives, and then we can share what we did when we're together." So, they worked on their own projects, and when they came back together, they had lots to share. One weekend, Tom suggested, "Let's play some games. We can play cards or go outside and play basketball." Sarah laughed. "I'm not very good at basketball, but let's do it anyway." They played games together and had so much fun. They laughed and cheered each other on. Playing games helped them feel lighthearted and happy. It made their conversations even better. They also did some silly things. "Let's have a staring contest," said Sarah. "Okay," said Tom. They stared at each other to see who could blink first. They laughed so much that they couldn't stop. They also teased each other in a fun way, and they both acted like kids again. One afternoon, Sarah said, "Let's take some pictures together. It will be fun." Tom agreed. "Yes. We can take silly pictures and then look at them later." They took lots of pictures. Some of them were funny, and some were just plain silly. When they looked at the pictures later, they laughed again and talked about how much fun they had taking them. Sarah also remembered something important. "Tom, we need to ask each other more questions. When we ask questions, we get to know each other better." Tom smiled. "I agree. I'll start. How was your day today?" Sarah thought for a moment and said, "It was great. I met a friend at the store, and we talked about the new movie coming out." "What about you?" Tom replied, "I had a good day too. I worked on a project and learned something new." Asking questions helped them connect more and learn about each other's day. One day, Sarah said, "Let's dance." Tom looked surprised. "Dance? I'm not a good dancer." Sarah laughed. "You don't have to be a good dancer. Just dance with me." They danced together in the living room. It didn't matter if they were good at dancing or not. What mattered was that they were having fun together. They laughed, spun around, and felt silly, but they enjoyed every second of it. Another thing Sarah said was, let's say I love you more." Tom smiled and hugged her. "I love you, Sarah," he said. "I love you too, Tom," Sarah replied. Saying "I love you" made them feel warm and close. They said it every day, and it always made them feel happy inside. Tom and Sarah learned not to judge each other. They listened carefully when one of them talked, and they never made the other feel bad. If one of them had a problem, the other would listen and try to help. They knew that being kind and understanding was important in their marriage. Tom also learned to turn off his phone when he was with Sarah. "I won't let my phone distract me anymore," he said. Sarah smiled. "Thank you, Tom. I like when you are fully here with me." They made sure to focus on each other and not get distracted by other things. From that day on, Tom and Sarah talked more, laughed more, and loved each other more. They remembered to kiss, play games, ask questions, and take photos together. They worked on their marriage every day, and it made their bond even stronger. They learned that communication is important, and when you care for each other and spend time together, everything gets better. Tom and Sarah were happier than ever. They were closer than before, and they knew that as long as they kept talking, laughing, and caring for each other, their love would always grow.